one of you. I hope everybody is having a great time so far. Yes. And if you haven't already done so, just letting you know that our wonderful staff at Crown will be coming to your table and approach you to have your dinner. So please be patient with us. Thank you so much. It is an absolute honour to be before you as we celebrate a significant milestone together. 75 years of friendship and celebrating the bilateral relations between Australia and the Philippines. Before we start, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land which we are gathered here today. We pay respect to all the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island nations who have contributed to and continue to contribute to our identity. We take pride in paying our respect to our elders, past, present, and emerging. So just some few house rules today for you all. I hope everyone has had a chance to do their QR scan on the entry. If you haven't, please do so. That is very, very important. And also, if in case of an emergency, to my left, we have 3 exit areas. We have the toilets outside of the venue also. And again, if you haven't already done so, the staff at Crown will approach your table to make your way over to the buffet. And I hope everyone is enjoying their dinner tonight. Is everyone enjoying themselves? Fantastic, that's what we want to hear. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I would love to introduce to you, without further ado, your host for this evening, Mr. Neil Bravo.
Thank you very much, Louisa. Sorry to interrupt everyone, but may I request everyone please rise for the singing of the national anthems. And here to sing the national anthem of the Philippines, Miss Faith Rico.
Ilagay po natin ang ating kanang kamay sa ating kaliwang dibdib at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisihil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bagaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdinigdig, ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag-may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
And now to sing the Australian national anthem, a young talent, Keanu.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australian fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australian fair. Beneath our radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renown of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas with boundless plains to share, with courage let us all combine to advance Australian fare. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australian fare.
Please remain standing for the opening prayer by Father Nelson Poe.
Almighty and most loving God, you are the source of all life and goodness. You have created us into being. You have formed and gathered peoples and nations under your protective care. We have acknowledged your infinite goodness in everything that we do. Tonight, our hearts are full of gratitude and joy for this evening and for making this night possible. As we give you thanks indeed for our two countries' enduring friendship and support throughout the years, we pray that you continue to bestow your grace and blessings upon our native country, Philippines, and this land, Australia, our second home and home to thousands of other Filipinos. As we are grateful for everything that our new home have offered us, help us also to appreciate everything that had brought us to this time and place, to value our own Filipino culture and to share it with the wider Australian community with dignity and pride. For our gathering tonight, help us to recognize your presence in all the beautiful things that will happen this evening, and also in the friendship, in the spirit of mateship and bayanihan that you have filled our hearts with. Above all, through this event, Lord, help us to truly experience your love in each person present here tonight. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. My name is Neil Bravo, and I will be your host tonight. I am having a very unenviable task of being your host. You know, in these extraordinary times during the pandemic, nobody wants to be a host. Because as they say, everyone has to avoid the host because there will be no virus without a host. So I hope you won't avoid me tonight as I play on this very difficult task to keep us going. Okay, so once again, good evening, everyone, and let's celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Philippines and Australia diplomatic relations. Now, kidding aside, I was supposed to say the very first words that I'm going to utter here in stage is to say, we made it. Everyone, do you agree? We made it. Yeah? You know, after all that we have been through, after all that journey, we made it this tonight. Okay? So, first of all, let me just ask your patience, your apologies for some shortcomings along the way that we made. If there's some confusion getting in for the seating arrangement, just be patient and sorry for the shortcomings. We're not perfect, but yeah, I think we're all good tonight, right? Are we all good? Is everyone enjoying their dinner? I know somebody else, there's still some people at the banquet, but yeah, we just have to start the program tonight. Okay, so we made it through the journey. It was hard at the start. We started from scratch. It's practically zero in the jar. And then we had to battle through the lockdowns in Perth. And then we had to pray that over the weekend, the weather will be nice. And, our prayers were answered. We had a very nice weather yesterday, and we were able to hold our Barrio Fiesta successfully at Langley Park. So congratulations, everyone, for that. We have a lot to thank for him up there. Now, I would like to say you all look so elegant tonight. You all look so lovely. The gentlemen look so dashing. You're so gorgeous. You know what? If I meet you in the lobby, I might not recognize you at all. You have transformed. You all look good, so congratulations. When we conceptualized the Gala Night, I know there have been a lot of clamor to do the Best Dressed Awards and the Star of the Night. But the suggestion was swept off the rug because you know what? We cannot afford to buy 550 trophies for all of you. We just can't leave out anyone. You all look good. You all deserve to be the Star of the Night and the Best Dressed of the Night. You agree? Of course. Okay. So, you know why? You all look good tonight because 2 months ago when we announced the Gala Night, this may be an exaggeration, but you know what? It triggered an economic boom. You know why? Because all of a sudden went online, went on a shopping frenzy for their outfits. Now here's the product. You all went crazy with shopping. Do you agree with me? Okay, so I know you all prepared for this one. You have went into shopping frenzy online or whatever. I hope your money didn't go to China. Okay, anyway, the Filipino-Australian community is a large family. We are about more than 30 organizations, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah? And most likely, next year, that would be doubled. Maybe we'll have 60, knowing how united Filipinos are. Yeah? It's always a process of addition or a multiplication. But seriously, we're glad we have the formal organizations here. And you know a Filipino organization because they always have in their acronym either a FA or a WA. Right? That's why you have FAWA, you have MAWA, you have FCCWA, you have FACEWA, you have WABC, you have FABS, you have FACP. Oh, by the way, I would like to say thank you so much on behalf of the whole community to FACP for the very generous act of sharing 10,000 of your funds to make this celebration happen. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much, FACP. Okay, so going back to the FA and the WA, all right? I like this story. Okay, let's move into this conversation, the FA and the WA. Okay, so I have my tennis community, and we're kind of talking about creating our organization. And we are serious. We're pretty serious. So there was a suggestion to call it, because we are really serious, Pinoy Aussie Tennis Association of WA. Can you show that, Shane? Can you show the acronym on the screen? We are serious. So that's the acronym, Pinoy Aussie Tennis Association of WA. I mean, we're really serious. Okay? All right. Anyway, I am just concerned that I come from Davao, and I'm just concerned that we don't have a Davaoeña Association. Eric Almen, Adela Oakdon. Who else are from Davao here? Who else are from Davao? Okay. Can I see your hands? Mga taga Davao, mga silingan. Okay. I'm just concerned with there's no Davaoeña Association. So I would like to propose to Eric, or actually I told Eric to create our association, and temporarily I call it the WA Team Davao Aus Filipino Allied Community. And the acronym is there. Can you show it, Shane? I hope you like it, Eric. I can't say it. Yeah? Do you like that? Okay, expect that edition next year. Okay? We are also glad that we have some informal organizations here. Those who are not registered, but they meet all the time. They meet regularly. We have groups like Sabado Nights. Where's Sabado Nights? Sabado Nights Club, who meets every Saturday for some drinks. Are you here? Just joking. And there's also a group called BBAC. Where's BBAC? BBAC, where are you? Are you? Okay. And they promised me that they will be back next year. Okay? And then there's also this group who they call themselves the Yummy Moms of Perth. Yummy Moms of, is that my Yummy? Sorry. Moms of Perth, not Yummy Moms. Where's the Moms of Perth? Moms of Perth, are you here? Come on. Stand proud. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I will keep the description. Okay. Seriously, this is a celebration of 75 years of friendship, Philippines and Australia. And it dates back way, way back. In 1946, the first Consulate General Office was opened in Manila, and it started it all. But before that, way back in 1800s, Philippines and Australia have already been friends, sharing in trade and migration. And during World War II, if you look back at history, some 4,000 gritty Australian men led the fight for the Filipinos, for us to gain freedom during World War II. And for that, we are eternally grateful to Australia. Thank you. So that's a very deep friendship. And you know what? It does not stay only in the specter of diplomacy, in governance, in trade, in migration. It encompasses to far, far in other areas, for example, sports. Do you know that Australia and the Philippines are very, very intimate when it comes to sports? Remember when your Australia Boomers played Gilas Pilipinas in the FIBA qualifiers? Can I have that, Shane? Okay, very friendly indeed, right? That's a very intimate contact. And also, you can throw in also, in Brisbane, it's happened, Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn. Another very intimate expression of friendship. Yeah? Okay. No, I'll be serious now. So tonight, we will all just let our hair down after all the stress, after all the headaches, after all the troubles, disagreements, and all that. You know, we're all gathered here, we're together, we're one, we're celebrating, and we're one in expressing that great bayanihan spirit. So we should stand proud that we have weathered all through the storm and come up proud that we have made it to this event. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to officially welcome us all, may I call in on stage the Honorable Consul Attorney Virma Simons.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see this 550 capacity ballroom full of Phil Aussies. But before I go ahead, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Tony Buti, MLA, Minister for Finance, Lands, Sports and Recreation, Citizenship and Multicultural Interests. The Honorable John Quigley, MLA, Attorney General, Minister for Electoral Affairs, the Honorable Michelle Roberts, MLA, Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, Mr. Kevin Mitchell, MLA, Member for Pilbara, our major sponsor, Mr. Joe Pastioni, is here, Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Hansen, all leaders and members of the Filipino community. Welcome to this 75th Philippines-Australia Friendship Day. It is a celebration of diplomatic relations as well. And on top of that, it is the 500th year of Philippine Christianity. So this is why we have made such a big fuss of these events. And we are here tonight. And like Neil said earlier, we started off with no money in the kitty, and look at where we are now. So it's thanks to all of you guys, thanks to the Filipino community leaders, thanks to the Filipino community members, our sponsors, and our guests. Much has been said about the origin or the beginning of this Friendship Day. So it started in 1946 when, like Neil said earlier, the Australian mission was established in Manila. So I won't say anything more about this because there's going to be a surprise video from the representatives of our government in the Philippines. Tonight is also a celebration of the goodness of the Filipino community organizations, and we are going to give certificates to those who helped us in the journey. And we are going to acknowledge the 10 outstanding young men and women under 40. So sit back and relax. It's going to be a fun and enjoyable night. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Consul Virma. She has worked so hard, the unifier of the Filipino community in Western Australia. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to best appreciate the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Philippines-Australia diplomatic relations, we shall now witness this video outlining the history of that friendship that we are celebrating tonight. Okay, so now that's the history of that great friendship between our two nations. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to entertain us with their number, they have prepared hard for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome the group of dancers representing the Filipino-Australian Health Workers Association.
samba. Coming into Manila, we'll be hitting the drums. Yeah, shake it up and dance it like no more drama. And check, we're gonna choose Philippines, throw it that. The world keeps talking, but we ain't walking. We keep on dancing, that's how we rock it. 7,107 islands of beauty, pieces of heaven.
Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas. 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 Kapulo ang kwintas ng pelas. Piliin mo, yakapin mo. Kayamanan niyang likas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas. Kapulo ang kwintas ng pelas. Piliin mo, yakapin mo. Kayamanan niyang likas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas. Piliin mo ang Pilipinas.
Thank you very much, FAWA dancers, with that dance number entitled Piliin Mo ang Pilipinas. To our Aussie friends, that means choose Philippines. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's now hear the message of the Honorable Dr. Tony Buti.
Thank you. I never had a welcoming like that. Can I please start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we meet on the Wajapia of the Noongar Nation, pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I also would acknowledge all the guests that have already been acknowledged, but can I please just make special mention of the Honorary Consul, Vuma Simons, good to see you, and also my parliamentary colleagues, the Honourable Attorney General and Minister for Electoral Reform, John Quigley, also the Honourable Michelle Roberts, the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, and also the Member for Pilbara, Kevin Michelle. Can you just indulge me for a second? We are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the great friendship between the Philippines and Australia, but it's the 100th anniversary of the first woman to be elected to the Legislative Assembly of the Western Australian Parliament, Edith Cowan, and this is also, that's an outstanding achievement, but this year we elected the first woman speaker to the Legislative Assembly of the Parliament of Western Australia, and that is the Honourable Michelle Roberts. Can we give her a round of applause? And we've also, I believe, 52% of the members of the Legislative Assembly of the Western Australian Parliament are women, so that's also an outstanding achievement. As was mentioned, we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the formal acknowledgement of the friendship and diplomatic relationships between the Philippines and Australia, but of course that relationship goes back a lot further than that, and all of us in Western Australia are so pleased that many Filipinos have decided to call Western Australia home. You make an incredible contribution to our society, our economic and social and community, and it's fantastic. I know in the area that I live, actually, you were talking about tennis, and I know the Armidale Tennis Club has recently, about 30 Filipino tennis players have joined the Armidale Tennis Club, which has doubled the membership, because it was basically only about 5 members of the Armidale Tennis Club, so it's great to have this influx of Filipino tennis players. You showed the infamous match between the Australian Boomers and the Filipino basketball teams. As we know, basketball is religion in the Philippines, so that was a very intense battle. I remember seeing that game on TV, and there was a lot of bad blood after that game, but the closeness of our friendship, we're able to overcome that. Look, what you do in our society is incredible, not only in Perth, but in the regions. I was in Geraldton on Friday, and I met up with the Geraldton Multicultural Society, the executive. There were 7 members there, and 3 of those members came from the Philippines. So there's a very strong contingent of Filipinos in all parts of the West Australian society, all parts of our state. You are very honest, caring, generous, hard-working people, and your contribution to our society is immense. And I am so pleased that you've decided to call Australia home, particularly Western Australia. Thank you also for your efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic in ensuring that you comply with the requirements and the health advice of the Chief Health Officer and the West Australian Government, and also for ensuring that your communities also comply with those regulations and rules to ensure that we are a safe place to live. There's no doubt you all love the Philippines, but without doubt West Australia has to be the best place in the world to be living during this global pandemic. And as a son of immigrants, I know sometimes how it can be very hard when you first come to a new country. You have to sometimes endure hardship and adversity, but you have done so well. You are such an important part of our society. Thank you very much, and may we continue to have another 75 years of strong relationships and many more after that. And congratulations to the recipients of the Community Awards for your outstanding contribution to the Filipino Society of West Australia and to West Australian society in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Dr. Tony Booty, the Minister for Finance, Lands, Sport and Recreation, Citizenship and Multicultural Interests. So, it's obviously, he knows so much about sports. And yes, I'd like to say the bad blood between Philippines and Australia is over. And as you can see, we got our Philippine-born player, Kai Soto, already signing up to play for the Adelaide 36ers in the NBL. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear the message from the Attorney General and Minister for Electoral Affairs, Honorable John Quigley.
Thank you very much, and what a pleasure it is to be here on this gala occasion of the 75th celebration of the Australian-Philippine Friendship Alliance. I'd like to also acknowledge the Wadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, upon whose lands we gather tonight to make this celebration. The Philippines is a very special neighbour of Australia, of course. It's the largest Christian country close to us in Asia, and a democracy, a loving democracy. So you've got so much in common with Australian ethos, culture in Christianity and democracy. Indeed, I come from the electorate of Butler, where we have the Church of St Andrews, and I know that is strongly supported by the Filipino community around Perth, and recently the Filipino community raised the funds for our solar panels on the church out there, and I've been to many Filipino celebrations at the community hall out there, and it's always just a wonderful, happy community. And I think that all of the distinguished guests have been acknowledged, but I'd just like to reflect that the high value that the Premier Mark McGowan and the Labor government place upon our relationship is evidenced tonight by the presence of the Honourable Michelle Roberts, the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, joins us tonight. Of course, Minister Dr. Tony Booty, Kevin Michelle and myself. There is a strong presence of the Western Australian government here because of the high value we put on the relationship we have with the Filipino community. There are 30,000 people in Western Australia who were born in the Philippines, and another at least 35,000 whose ancestry is Filipino. So you're a very treasured part of our community and will remain so. And it's just wonderful to be here on this gala evening to celebrate this friendship. Thank you very much. Salamat.
Thank you very much, Honorable John Quigley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to show you how much fun we had yesterday, and from the very start of this celebration, dating back to the day when we officially launched the celebration for the Western Australia Filipino-Australian community. Let's watch this video.
A round of applause, please, for open!
Come on.
So much fun, isn't it? Yeah. Would you like to do it again? Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have her with us tonight. And now to deliver her message, the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, the Honorable Michelle Roberts.
Mabuhay! How good is it to be here, meeting on the lands of the Wadjuk people, to be celebrating 75 years of friendship with the Filipino community in Western Australia, to be in not just one of the best places in the world, the best place in the world, the best state and the best country. And it is true that this is a community that our government has huge respect for. That's why I'm here. It's also why the Attorney-General, John Quigley, is here. And while our newly minted Minister for Multicultural and Ethnic Affairs, Mr Tony Butty, is here. Tony's someone who knows what it's like to have parents and a family that comes and settles from a foreign country into Western Australia, as does Kevin Michelle, our member for the Pilbara, who thinks he's of Indian heritage, but I'm told by my friends here tonight, has been adopted as a Filipino. So congratulations, Kevin. I want to acknowledge your consul, Virma Simons, and how special it is for me to be here tonight to be able to celebrate with you. Some of you here I've known for more than 30 years, and it's certainly more than 30 years since I came to a very special occasion as this. Not an occasion, though, with 550 people. That's fantastic. Can I congratulate everyone who's been involved in getting this to happen tonight? It's so important to celebrate. I've got some beautiful Filipino friends. Filipino people have made such a huge contribution to Western Australia, to industry, to sport, to hospitality, to every area of endeavour. And such beautiful, giving, lovely people you could not meet anywhere else in the world. Filipino people have made Australia home. Over 300,000 Filipino people have made Australia home, and we have been the better for it.
Thank you, all of you, for coming here, for sharing your lives, for bringing your families, for having more family members here in Australia. Congratulations to you all. I'm proud to call so many Filipino people my friends, and I know that you're proud to call West Australia home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Michelle Roberts, for that very heartwarming message. And now we shall hear view some video messages from our officials, starting off with the Honourable or Her Excellency Ambassador Helen de la Vega, the Philippines Ambassador to Australia, followed by the Premier of Western Australia, Honourable Mark McGowan, and finally His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte. Let's view the videos. Thank you very much. And now we shall be entertained by an electrifying dance number by Joanna and Jake.
Excuse me, can I have your attention please for one more time? Stop your diet, baby. You don't have to slim down. Slim down. I love your curves and believe me, it is every pound. Stop your diet, come on, do it for me. Do it for me. I love you round, 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 'cause you're so sexy. Oh, yes, she is. She tastes like cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she tastes like cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she cares. I'll be your sugar daddy, you'll be my sugar cane. With every sip I'm taking, you're deep into my vein. You are as sweet as cola, you push like coffee. I wanna know the secret that no one's ever seen. She tastes like cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all 'cause she tastes like cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she tastes like cola. She tastes like cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she takes out your diet, baby. You don't have to slim down.
Joanna and Jake. I bet the live videos of these two together will hit more than 100,000 on Facebook. The last time Joanna danced with another partner, she hit more than 100,000 views. So this one should be another hit on social media. That only shows how great Filipino talents are. All right. Speaking of Filipino talents, it far encompasses just this dancing. It hits practically all facets of life. So one of the highlights of our celebration is to award the young achievers of the Filipino-Australian community. And so we're putting up the 10 Outstanding Young Men and Women Awards. After going through a rigorous process of selection and vetting, we have come up with our choices as decided by the Committee on Awards. They've done a pretty good job. It's not easy. And so let me present to you our 10 outstanding young men and women through this video.
I'm Sophia Aguasa, lawyer, 27 years old, born and raised in the Philippines until we migrated to Australia when I was 9 years old. I hold a bachelor's degree in commerce from the University of Western Australia and a Bachelor of Laws degree from Murdoch University. I am the proud owner of Breadtime Bakehouse in Huntingdale.
Hi, my name is Louisa Cotter. I am 38 years old, born in the Philippines. I'm a wife and a mother to 3 young children. I've completed my diploma and my Bachelor of Business and have just recently completed my Master's in Leadership Technology and Innovation.
Hi, I'm Julia and I'm 18 years old. I'm currently at the University of Western Australia studying a Bachelor of Biomedical Science with a direct path into medicine. I may have been born in the Philippines, but thanks to the 06 mining boom, we moved here, and I've really enjoyed my time growing up as a Filipino-Australian young person.
My name is Ned Villasencio. I have 2 kids and 1 wife. I'm a registered nurse by profession. I'm 36 years old and been living here in Perth for 8 years.
Hi, I'm Russell C. Swan. I'm 36 years old. I was born in the Philippines, moved here when I was 10. I'm currently the CEO at Price Trandos Engineering.
I'm Eileen Joy Variantes Brazil. I'm 37 years old. I am an engineer by profession, an entrepreneur, and a mother of 3 kids.
I'm Raymond Marasigan, 38 years old, an organizer of a sporting event called Asia United Basketball Association, father of 4 energetic kids, and husband to an intelligent and beautiful wife.
Hi, I'm Rin. I'm 19 years old and I'm a singer and songwriter. I was born in the Philippines and grew up here in Perth.
Hi, I'm Jade Roberts. I'm a flight attendant, support worker, a former beauty queen, a CEO of Face WA Models and Pageants, and an event CEO of Multicultural Integration Australia.
I'm Ellen Christine Lee Moreno, 30 years of age, a registered nurse and an entrepreneur.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, our 10 young achievers. And now to confer the awards to our 10 outstanding young men and women, I would like to request on stage the Honorable Virma Simons with the Honorables Michelle Roberts, Dr. Tony Booty, and Honorable John Quigley. Thank you very much. And now let's play our first awardee, Christine Ellie Moreno.
I'm Ellen Christine Lee Moreno. I'm 30 years of age, a registered nurse and an entrepreneur. The most recent experience I had was there was an Australian who sent me a message 2 weeks ago. He went to Philippines just before the lockdown. So he sent me a message asking me if I could pack a box for him with all the Australian goods. So without thinking, I said, okay, I'm ready to help the guy. He asked me to click and collect a parcel from Woolies, and it's all Vegemite, it's all gravy, tea. So he said to me, it would be really nice for you if you could pack the box for me to be sent to the Philippines. So then he said that I really didn't expect that, you would help me with this. And then he was very, very happy that, I was able to help him. So he said that in the Philippines, even with the lockdown, so many Filipinos have helped him. So that I can say that I'm really proud to say that I am Filipino, because we really do an extra mile for everybody.
Once again, congratulations, Christine Elim Moreno. So as I call the name of the awardee, we will play the video first, then after the video you can come up on stage. And our next awardee is Miss Jade Roberts.
Hi, I'm Jade Roberts. I'm 27. I'm a flight attendant, support worker, and a former beauty queen. A CEO of Face WA Models and Pageants, and an event CEO of Multicultural Integration Australia. I've always been inspired by my family's hardships to come to Australia, and I'm very proud of my Filipino roots. It is a passion of mine to be involved and to contribute to Filipino community events and organisations. It is my mission to empower others and to provide opportunities, especially through the arts. I'm very proud of the program we offer at Face WA to provide confidence not only on an international competing stage, but also in everyday life. This is so we can create a greater awareness and acceptance of different nationalities and cultural backgrounds. These projects would not be possible without my team, friends, family, and support. Daghang salamat and maraming salamat po.
Once again, congratulations, Miss Jade Roberts. And our next awardee is Karin Hipe.
Hi, I'm Renrin. I'm 19 years old and I'm a singer and songwriter. I was born in the Philippines and grew up here in Perth. I was among the 2% out of the 26,000 entries around the globe in the International Songwriting Competition. My single became as a semi-finalist. It's all about passion, and because I love writing and playing music, and because I'm actually a very shy person, even my fears won't hold my passion back. It won't stop me from doing the one thing I love and what I'm really good at.
Congratulations, Rinrin. And our next awardee is Mr. Raymond Marasigan.
I'm Raymond Marasigan, 38 years old, mechanical engineer, and a sports organizer of Asia United Basketball Association, a father of 4 energetic kids, and husband to an intelligent and beautiful wife. I was hailed from Calamba, Laguna, Philippines, the hometown of our national hero, Gato Sersa. I'm a vision-oriented, change-driven, and action-taker. I believe in giving back and sharing to the community of what I have and what I can do. With this belief in mind, this drives me to do my best in the field of sports and community development. One experience that made me and still makes me proud as a Philippine-Australian is to be able to realize my dream, together with my dedicated AUBA team, to unite Filipinos with Asians and Australians in Western Australia in the field of sports, and that is achieved through Asia United Basketball Association.
Congratulations, Mr. Raymond Marasigan. Our next awardee is Mrs. Eileen Joy Barrientos, Brazil.
Inspired because I have franchisee stores in the Philippines, and I only tried the lock and I got interested to bring them here in Australia. That's why the first brand that I brought here is Camiseta, because I've got some stores in the Philippines. And then eventually, after we opened our store, I planned to expand, and now we've got more than 8 brands, which are all Filipino brands, and my partners are all from the Philippines. That's why we have expanded our exporting from the Philippines. And then I suddenly realized that I am helping the economy of the Philippines by giving the people their work, especially this pandemic. They actually are very thankful that we are exporting their products out of the Philippines and then bringing them here in Australia. That's a good opportunity also for us to let the Australians know or international market know that we have good and competitive products from the Philippines. They appreciate the good quality of the clothing and of the cosmetics and skincare products from our home country.
Congratulations, Joy Brazil. Our next awardee is Mr. Russell C. Swan.
If there's one thing that really drives me to succeed in this line of work, it's really for my team, for the people in the company. There's so many families and so many lives that are dependent on this business, and my success means their success. And for me, that's the most important driving factor. It's very difficult for me to think about one event that makes me proud to be a Filipino or Filipino-Australian, because every day I'm proud to be Filipino. When I see my colleagues, fellow engineers who are coming up with smart designs, it makes me proud to be Filipino. When I see my Filipino electricians assembling a board like a work of art, it makes me proud to be a Filipino.
Thank you very much for accepting the award on behalf of Russell, who can't make it tonight. And our next awardee is Mr. Ned Villasencio.
I've been here in Perth for 8 years now, and I've been involved in the community since I came here. It's very interesting involving in the community because I found a feeling of being at home every time I serve the community. I've been initially involved with the Filipino-Australia Cultural Association when I came here. I've been working with them as one of their ambassadors. I have been involved with the cultural presentation as well, together with my daughter at that time. She was 9 years old, and now she's 12 years old. And the most interesting part every time we incorporate or volunteer in the Filipino community is the aspect of growth, especially in the youth. So very passionate about encouraging the youth to be the leader in the future. As what one of our famous heroes said, Jose Rizal, the youth is the hope of the nation.
Once again, congratulations, Ned Villasencio. And our next awardee is Miss Julia Aguino.
I guess despite being all of 18 years of age, my time as a Filipino-Australian young person has really kind of come to two things, I guess. So the first one would be how I feel that I've connected to other Filipino-Australian young people in my community, and I guess specifically my youth community. And it's more so really creating these connections and being there for people and showing them that there are other people who have had the same scenario of having to navigate this society of growing up as someone who is ethnically Filipino with Filipino parents, but also in the society of Australian people where, it's different because there's so many cultures, and also you just really aren't sure of where you belong in a sense. So I guess just bridging these gaps and also just bringing people together spiritually, but also on a friend kind of platonic level. And on top of that, I guess what I've done is in my time at my school as a head girl, I really liaise with a lot of people who are in pretty high positions, even for like standards in general. But they were, for example, directors in the Department of Education, the former governor of WA, etc., etc. And I think even just getting my name and my face out there and showing them, hi, I am Julia. I'm not just a young woman, I'm a Filipino young woman. And I am doing my best to try to show people that I can do really great things despite being young and despite, I guess, being an immigrant.
Okay, thank you very much. Julia Aguinot, our youngest awardee at 18. And now the next awardee is Luisa Reyna Cotter.
I've been an active and immensely proud supporter of the Filipino-Australian Community Organisation now for the past 22 years. It has been a memorable, lifelong, rich experience that develops your confidence, your interpersonal skills, leadership, agility, communication and organisational skills, but also empathy. Giving back to the community is what really we get most out of it, and to continue to preserve a beautiful and rich culture. So the most memorable event that I have been involved with is certainly the 75th anniversary of Filipino-Australian relations. We have been faced with so many challenges in terms of working with over 30 community groups who have different backgrounds and different ways of, operating how they usually work. But with the challenges comes with so much more rewarding experiences. And through the journey, we've witnessed some great friendship camaraderies between the organisation groups. And for the first time, it is so amazing to see over 30 community groups working together hand in hand, for the greater good of the Filipino-Australian community.
Congratulations, Luisa Reyna Cotter. She has worked so hard. And now, last but not the least, our next awardee, Attorney Sofia Cristina Aguasa.
My biggest inspiration to be a successful lawyer is knowing that the work that I do helps a lot of people fight for their rights. I represent people's voices that would otherwise be left unheard. Being one of the few Filipino lawyers in Perth, I get to help a lot of our kababayans who inspire me to do better every day. I remember that when I first started as a lawyer, I was helping a overseas Filipino worker with his workers' compensation claim. Back then, I didn't know much about that area of law, but he inspired me to look into it and to keep myself educated about that area of law. Basically, I helped him fight through his workers' compensation claim with his employer and got him the settlement that he deserved. So the orphanage I support in the Philippines is a non-profit organization. They solely rely on people who know that they exist so that they could receive the donations that they need in order to help provide for about 50 children that are in their care. So my little bit that I do to help them is to raise funds here in Perth, either through my own finances or through the help of my business. For example, I could promote donations by doing promos and by allowing other people to donate to these people as well.
Let's call her up on stage, Attorney Sofia Guasa. Thank you very much. Once again, a round of applause, please, to our 10 outstanding young men and women. And now we have 2 special awards to the previous 2 honorary consuls of Perth. First, may I read the citation: for his definitive contribution to the enrichment of the migrant Filipino community as Philippine Honorary Consul General to Western Australia from 1998 until 2016, during which time he faithfully served the community, often beyond the normal call of duty. Special token of appreciation is presented to Jerry Donnelly. Another special token of appreciation for his definitive contribution to the migrant Filipino community as workers' advocate, sports patron, humanitarian, champion of Filipino interests, and as Philippine Honorary Consul General to WA from 2017 to 2019, presented to Michael Gillis.
Where's the script? This award is a token of appreciation presented to Neil and Joseph Bravo in grateful recognition of his valuable contribution to the success of the Western Australian community celebrations of the 75th anniversary of Philippine-Australia relations. Who votes for this award? Put your hand up. Okay, we had to put everything to a vote in all the actions that we did, so thank you so much for this. Neil?
Sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah. We have okay. At this point, I will be calling on all the community leaders of the different Filipino-Australian organizations to come up on stage to receive your plaques. I will just go through this one quick enough, and then we'll have a group photo here on stage. All right. Can I quickly? The Western Australia celebrations of the 75th anniversary of the Philippines-Australia diplomatic relations is brought to you by John Hughes, New Homes WA, Australia Institute of Career Education, J. Gordon Express, Maylands Fish and Chips, Daniel and Gollop Optometrists, Elise Jerica, Milestone Migration, and Guaya, Price Trendos, Adelphi Living, Ria Money Remit, Tema International, United Workers Union, Hepatitis WA, Fransmart, MediServe, Melissa's Filipino Shop, Perth Pinoy Sports Club Incorporated, WA Bayanihan Sports Community Incorporated, Jen's Authentic Diamonds, Medibank, Consul Verma Simons, LGL Cleaning Services, Carol's YouTube channel, Filipino-Australian Health Workers Association Incorporated, ANN Migrations, Filipino-Australian Multicultural Association Incorporated, Benji's Electrical Services, Oz Pinoy Production, and I Want TV, TFC.